The mad scientists at THQ recently released a brand new trailer for Metro Last Light. Entitled Genesis, it's pretty dark.
On the second day, the sky was born, a majestic canopy for the earth.
However, more recently, we got an exclusive chance to speak to Hugh Bainan, the man with the hair, and see more on the game. It was hands off though, but we snuck out with some sweet footage. Now, for Hugh to tell us more.
Today we've shown you an extensive hands-off preview showing 3 different levels from the game. In the past we've shown 2 very scripted E3 style presentations, and this time we wanted to get under the hood of the game a little bit more and show you more of the mechanics at play. The first mission we showed you was a rescue mission. You're trying to break through a Reich stronghold to rescue Pavel. He's your companion that accompanied you across the Moscow expanse in our E3 2012 demo. It's one of our first human combat levels. You've had a basic stealth and combat tutorial, and this is where we let you put those skills to the test. Our stealth system is really very simple. Our AI is perception based, and human AI uses sight and sound to try and track you down. You have your watch indicator, which shows whether you're in light or not. It's a very simple rule. If the light is on your watch, it means that you can be seen. So long as it's out and you're moving in pools of darkness, you can essentially slip by unnoticed unless you make a noise which is going to attract attention, but stick to using silenced weapons and you should be able to get through okay. It's a nice consistent system which allows you to plan your stealth strategies accordingly. Yeah, you can shoot out lights, although that will arouse suspicion and raise the curiosity of the guards. You can find the switch boxes and turn them out. Everything's breaking down in the Metro all the time. If you do that, you normally overhear one bark an order to the other and ask them to check it out. You can actually use that to your advantage and break their normal routine and allow you to slip through the gap.
Everything's A-okay here.
Drink. That would sure hit the spot. Hey, what's it?
Nothing's forced upon the player. You can play this as a stealth shooter if you like, and we think we have very robust mechanics to support that, but you can wade in guns blazing, see all of our destructible environments and glass shatter and crates break apart and concrete smash off the pillars, and it makes a very different experience. All of the guns, well, all of the handmade guns are designed by Prof, our creative designer, and he's an engineer by trade. He's obsessed by the way things work, and almost all these weapons are actually, it's theoretically conceivable that they could be made and manufactured. We showed you the pneumatic sniper rifle, the THAR, and the handmade single shotgun pistol. We also showed you a lot of these weapons in slow-mo, as we showed all of the wonderful reload animations, so you can actually see the mechanical workings of each gun. Not sure if everyone's going to appreciate that in game, and unless we manage to sneak that feature in as a hidden unlockable. Wait and see. Venice is one of our new station cities for the player to explore. These are really critical areas within Metro. There's a few of them in the game. They really break up the pacing. They offer some much needed respite from the trials and tribulations of either the combat or horror that has undoubtedly been flung at you beforehand.
So, wait a bit. They're going to catch us a fish. Not Nadia is going to roast it. Move a bit!
It's where we do a lot of our storytelling. It's where you can trade and upgrade your weapons and equipment. but it's also really where the studio just goes to town in fleshing out the detail and depth of this game world. Venice has been flooded. It's a partially submerged station city, so you'll see little jetties, people moving around on makeshift boats and rafts, fishing for what fish have made their way down there, and also some less pleasant mutated creatures that serve as a source of protein. And it's also notorious as being a hideout for gangsters and a real den of sin and iniquity in the metro.
Good stuff, ain't it? Another one?
Well, we got to the bar, we were offered a drink. Obviously it's your hard-earned gold currency and you have to decide if you want to spend that, or if maybe an optical scope or an extended magazine might be a better way of spending your funds. But actually, Sam, as I recall, you persuaded me to follow that scene to its conclusion, having drink after drink at the bar, with I think some predictable consequences. Previously, all the weapons came pre-made, so you'd start off with the revolver, and as you went through the game you might find one with a stock, or one with an extended barrel, or one with a scope on it. What we do now is allow you to customize each individual weapon, so you can add the various attachments that you want. We also don't limit you by class this time. Previously you had one pistol slot, one automatic weapon slot, and then one slot reserved for either a special weapon or shotgun style weapon. Now you can carry any weapon in any slot, and you're really only limited by whether you can find or buy enough ammo to sustain all of them. So it probably makes sense to keep weapons that use different ammo types in each slot, otherwise you may find yourself running out of ammo at the wrong time.
That gun is a beast, right? All caravans are as good as yours. Later, come by anytime.
So you've come to Venice as you've been tracking a particular quarry across the metro for the last few levels. Suffice to say, it's a fairly critical moment in the story.
Alarm! Alarm!
Yeah, the last level we showed you was one of our non-linear outdoor areas set in this swamp environment. Unlike the demo we showed at E3 2012, which was a much more linear scripted experience, this is one where we let the player break free. They have multiple routes that they can take through the swamp. They've got a broad objective to get to this ferry at the far end, and they'll need to find some fuel to power it, but beyond that there's very little advice given to the player.
Here it is, the swamp. The base is right across, in the church. You can't see it from here. There's a powered winch ferry. It needs fuel. You should be able to get some in the plane or in the cache at the gas station.
They have to pick their route through the swamp, never know what's around the next corner, explore all of the ruined buildings there, loot corpses for ammunition and filters to survive. We have a whole ecosystem of mutants going about their mutant-like business that you'll need to try and avoid if you can, otherwise they can be a serious drain on your ammo reserves. Yeah, we've changed the look of the outdoor environments for a couple of reasons. I think partly because the studio wanted to do something a little bit different this time round, introduce a bit of colour into the world. We've moved the storyline on by about a year, and we've hinted that the first signs of spring are there. So you'll see a break in the clouds, shafts of sunlight will illuminate patches of the earth. We now have running water, bits of vegetation. We've also introduced these dramatic weather effects, smoke and fog rolling across the level. We have a full day-night cycle at work in the level, which will change the color tone and palette. It might start raining, or you'll have an electrical storm, and this combination that we spread across our outdoor levels has just given us a much richer range of outdoor environments to showcase to the player. And as a result, I think more of the game takes place above ground this time round. It's probably 40% above ground as opposed to the 20 to 30 in Metro 2033. Yeah, as you come to the end of the level, you've managed to secure some fuel to power the ferry, but obviously turning that cranky generator on creates a huge amount of noise, attracts pretty much every mutant in the area, and there's a fairly frantic scene as you're forced to defend your position against all of the oncoming wildlife as they decide to try and make you their lunch. Yeah, so the mutants in the swamp are obviously well adapted to their environment. You saw this kind of crab-like amphibian creature that holds its claws up in front of it. They're armor plated, so it will just hear your bullets ricochet harmlessly off unless you can find that gap between the claws and get its soft underbelly. Often the best way of dealing with it is to try and plant one of those handmade claymores in front of it. Also, its smaller cousin, which on its own maybe isn't so dangerous, but they'll gang up and they can fling acid at your mask, which will both obscure your vision and actually can cause damage unless you wipe it off. And in the heat of the battle, you might be busy reloading or trying to dodge something else trying to kill you.
But there is still hope.
Yeah, Metro Last Light will be released on PC, Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 in March 2013.
Our fate, I hold in my own hands.